At first glance, it looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. A robotic dog, capable of moving on its own, scanning its surroundings, and even carrying weapons. But this is real technology, and it's already appearing in military programs around the world. The question experts are debating isn't whether it exists, it's, should armed robotic dogs be used in warfare? Some experts believe they could help reduce soldier casualties and transform modern combat. Others warn about the risks, the ethical dilemmas, and the uncontrollable consequences. In this video, we'll break down the pros and cons and explore the perspectives of top experts worldwide on armed robotic dogs. First, let's take a look at the advantages that have led many to see armed robotic dogs as the future of modern warfare. Superior mobility. With a four-legged design inspired by animals, robotic dogs can move with remarkable agility across almost any terrain. Urban streets, staircases, hills, mountains, and even rubble left behind after combat. In places where wheeled or tracked vehicles struggle, robotic dogs can move with ease. Reduced risk to soldiers. Instead of sending humans into the most dangerous hotspots, robotic dogs can lead the way in reconnaissance, mine detection, and even direct combat. They become a kind of steel shield, facing danger in place of human soldiers. Integration of advanced weapons and sensors. From rifles, machine guns, and RPGs to infrared cameras, thermal sensors, and AI-powered target recognition, this combination transforms the robotic dog from a mobile platform into a true combat unit. Incredible versatility. Robotic dogs aren't limited to combat roles. They can conduct reconnaissance, transport ammunition, deliver supplies, and even assist in rescue operations in extremely hazardous environments. It is these very advantages that have led many nations to view robotic dogs as an essential part of future combat strategies. Despite their many advantages, armed robotic dogs still come with significant limitations that make military experts cautious. The first major barrier is cost. Producing, maintaining, and upgrading a military-grade robotic dog requires substantial funding. Each system can cost anywhere from tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars, an amount that is far from affordable for most militaries around the world. With the same budget, many countries may choose traditional combat systems that have already proven their effectiveness. According to Peter W. Singer, a specialist in warfare and military technology at the US-based think tank New America, while videos showcasing military robotic dogs may look impressive, the technology itself is still in its early stages. He emphasizes that unlike drones, which are now widely deployed across the globe, robotic dogs are currently only being tested and used by a small number of major powers with large defense budgets. There is a huge gap between demonstrating a technology on YouTube and actually deploying it on the battlefield, Singer notes. Sharing this view, many scholars of modern warfare argue that the United States, China, and several other major powers are competing in the development of military robotic dogs. However, this is not a global arms race. High costs and technological complexity mean that only countries with exceptional military and scientific capabilities can realistically take part. To partially overcome these barriers, Russian entrepreneur and inventor Alexander Atamanov explains that some countries are turning to commercially available robotic dogs already on the market, then developing their own software and control systems to suit specific needs. Atamanov himself once purchased a robotic dog manufactured in China and modified it for military purposes. At the beginning, the device was essentially a computer with four legs, equipped with cameras and sensors, but largely empty in terms of internal functionality. Depending on the mission, users can write their own code to assign different roles to the robot. However, achieving a high level of autonomy requires an enormous amount of work, especially in areas such as artificial intelligence, target recognition, and real-world environmental interaction. Another major drawback of armed robotic dogs lies in their stability when firing and their vulnerability on the battlefield. Even with advanced technology, a four-legged robotic dog can't match the rigidity of traditional ground combat vehicles. When weapons are mounted and fired, the recoil can drastically reduce accuracy, especially during sustained bursts. Mechanical engineers and robotics experts emphasize this. For a robotic dog to shoot accurately, its body frame must act like a stable platform, capable of absorbing both vibration and weapon recoil. Achieving this, It requires extremely precise mechanical design and highly advanced motion control algorithms. Some studies in China show this is technically possible. In tests, robotic dogs equipped with 7.62mm firearms, shock-absorbing systems, electronic sights, and automatic loading mechanisms achieved accuracy close to standard infantry rifles when firing short bursts at medium-range targets. But here's the catch. To reach this performance, the robotic dog must be designed from the ground up. Weapons have to aim independently, while barrel movement is minimized during firing. This is a highly complex engineering challenge, and not something easily scaled. And there's more. Like human soldiers, military robots, including armed robotic dogs, are highly detectable. A single sniper, a small reconnaissance drone, or electronic warfare measures can disable them in seconds. That's why designers are forced to think of countermeasures, special coatings, limiting infrared signatures, or jamming enemy night vision systems. All of this makes one thing clear. Despite their immense potential, armed robotic dogs are still far from being a perfect tool on the modern battlefield. The third, and perhaps most serious drawback of armed robotic dogs, lies in the risk of cyber attacks, and in ethical questions that still have no clear answers. As artificial intelligence remains far from perfect, the risk of a robotic dog misidentifying a target, or worse, being hacked and taken over by an adversary, remains a very real concern on the modern battlefield. Because of these risks, in October 2022, Boston Dynamics released an open letter, signed alongside 5 other technology companies, pledging not to support the weaponization of their robotic products. In the letter, the company stated, "We believe that arming robots that can be remotely operated or autonomous, especially those capable of entering civilian-populated areas, poses significant risks of harm and raises serious ethical concerns." These fears are shared by Daniel E. Kodacek, a professor of engineering at the University of Pennsylvania. He warns that mounting weapons on 4-legged machines could break a critical ethical barrier, one where the line between human judgment and machine decision-making in matters of life and death becomes increasingly blurred. Some experts go even further, cautioning that integrating artificial intelligence into autonomous combat robots may carry risks comparable to weapons of mass destruction, if left without strict human oversight. In response to these concerns, Russian entrepreneur and inventor Alexander Adamonov argues that the core solution lies in target control and human accountability. According to him, military robots, including armed robotic dogs, must be able to clearly distinguish between enemy combatants and civilians, while always prioritizing the minimization of unintended casualties. To achieve this, robotic dogs need advanced AI and machine learning systems for target recognition. But the final decision to use lethal force must remain under human supervision. Another equally critical challenge is operational safety, ensuring that a robot never turns its weapon on friendly forces. Similar to naval artillery systems, where firing angles are restricted to prevent damage to the ship itself, armed robotic dogs must be built with strict safety mechanisms. These include multi-layer authorization before firing and highly secure encrypted communication channels. Beyond all these issues, armed robotic dogs still face several other limitations, including power supply, operational endurance, and reliability under harsh combat conditions. Taken together, these factors reveal a deeper reality. Alongside their military potential, armed robotic dogs present a complex ethical and security dilemma, one the world has yet to fully resolve. Because of this balance of strengths and weaknesses, many experts agree on one key point. Armed robotic dogs, in their current form, cannot replace human soldiers on the battlefield, and they are not yet a true game-changing weapon. Instead, they should be seen as support tools in modern warfare. Most experts agree that robotic dogs will become an important auxiliary force for combat units, handling reconnaissance, transporting supplies, or providing fire support in high-risk areas, places where human lives should not be placed in danger. Although most robotic dogs today remain experimental platforms, nations around the world are actively working to improve their stability across complex terrain. Many analysts predict that within the next 5 to 10 years, armed robotic dogs will become a familiar sight on high-intensity battlefields. But rather than replacing humans, they will act as technological teammates, helping soldiers fight more safely and more effectively. Armed robotic dogs are opening a new chapter in modern warfare, while simultaneously raising unresolved technical, ethical, and security challenges. They offer mobility and protection for soldiers, yet remain vulnerable to disruption and limitation. In the global arms race, the United States, Russia, China, and many other nations are actively testing, deploying, and reshaping their strategies around this technology. All of this suggests one thing: robotic dogs are not just weapons of the future. They may soon become a critical component of military operations in the near term. So, what do you think? Are armed robotic dogs truly the next evolution of military technology, or just a temporary support tool? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.